I started as an appointment setter for a small business at the beginning of this year, and not even a year later, I am that business's head of operations. Sure, you may think I'm lucky, but there are two mindset changes and one physical change that I made that I know that got me to where I am today, and I think it'll be able to help you if you're looking to grow up that ladder. Now to the first mindset change that I made, which is basically I had to realize that nothing was going to be given to me unless I earned it. For context, I used to work with my parents in their own pest control company, and I'm a part of Gen Z. Don't worry, I'll make it make sense. So honestly, I didn't really have to learn anything to even get my first job. It was super flexible, and I honestly didn't really have that much work ethic, to be honest. And since I was born in Gen Z, my parents honestly really made the blessed life that I get to live right now, and I honestly took it for granted. I was pretty entitled, undeservingly, obviously. Honestly, the only reason that I wasn't fired from that job is because I was pretty much working with my parents. Now, my parents did their absolute best to teach me and instill me with their work ethic and their values and everything. And it honestly didn't click inside my own head until I was out of high school. And that's when reality hit me for the first time. And I realized that I was being like every other person my age, feeling entitled to a job, okay with being super mediocre at pretty much everything, and not really taking anything super seriously. And I could start to see the future of where my actions and attitudes were often taking me, and also the rest of the people in my generation, which was jumping from job to job, chasing the fleeting feeling of happiness, and honestly just end up feeling hopeless and unfulfilled. So it hit me, like I said in a few episodes ago, that if I were to keep doing these average things all the time, then I wouldn't actually be able to get to the above average life that I actually wanted for myself. And honestly, I kind of had a second hit of reality as well, which is that no one's going to be able to give me my future. No one's going to be able to give me the business idea that I want to create so badly. No one's going to give me the skills to operate that business. No one's going to give me the people to sell to. No one's going to give me the family that I want to raise. No one's going to do that for me. And if I want all of those things, then I need to work a little bit harder than the rest of the people around me in order to make my life a bit different than theirs. And that's honestly what led me to figuring out that I wanted to become an appointment setter. Now that leads me to my second mindset change, and which that actually was that I needed to kill my apathy. A common theme with people my age is that we're pretty apathetic. We have a lot of apathy and towards life and towards pretty much everything, and I honestly wasn't different from this at all. See, it's so easy just to not care anymore, pretty much drop everything and just do enough not to get fired at any place that you're pretty much working at. And I believed at that time pretty much that in order to actually work hard and work with excellence, that I needed to feel it first. Like I feel that drive and feel that passion in order to do hard things and really feel good doing it and really do it well. The problem was I never felt it at all. And I'm not that different from most people. So what the heck is going on? How do I make myself a person of excellence? And then this is what I learned. I just gotta do it anyway. See, two things can be true at the same time. I can feel apathetic about my job and not really want to give effort into a task or objective that I'm assigned to do, and still give the effort and get it done with excellence. See, you can move past your feelings and do the right thing anyway. And the crazy thing is, once you start actually moving your body and moving your mind in the direction that you want to go, that you're supposed to go anyways, you'll often get the feeling once you're already in that motion. I can't tell you how many times when I got promoted to being my boss's content manager that I really didn't want to make content. And sometimes even for this pod, I'm sorry. And honestly, I needed to do it because I kind of was getting paid for it. So I did something really simple. And that's not really that special either. Guess what? I just put a 30-minute timer on my phone, and guess what? I just threw my phone across the room. So even when I wasn't feeling it, or getting any kind of idea in my mind of what to create for that content, I was just sitting there looking at the things that could really inspire me to do something. Did it suck at first? Absolutely, because I literally was just sitting here, like right here, just looking at my computer screen, looking at old material I made, trying to think of anything that I could create from that, and it was boring. It was not stimulating, and I honestly felt like quitting every single time, like many other people would. However, after 15 minutes of actually doing this, I started to actually see the different angles and how I could create the content, and then ideas started pouring in. So I start typing and I start writing everything down, and then after a minute of writing, I'm pretty much in a flow state, and nothing can really stop me from working at that point. And I wasn't feeling that apathy anymore. but I was actually wanting to finish that piece of work that I was already working on. And I killed my apathy by still doing what I'm supposed to do, even when I feel unqualified, insecure, hopeless, and honestly, probably stuck in my situation. And I actually do this almost every single time that I feel apathetic in any kind of way, even with this pod too. And something small like this can honestly help you so much, especially if your attention span at work tends to be pretty low because you get distracted by a lot of things. Now, I want to mention this caveat. There's a difference between feeling apathetic towards your job at certain moments and being at a job or career that you honestly have no real deep interest in. And I get it, being in a job that you really have no interest in because you got bills to pay. And I totally get that. And that's perfectly fine. As long as you're not doing anything immoral or degrading yourself just for money, that's fine for a season. Now, I'm not saying leave your job because, you don't like it, even though that's like the thing that we all want to do. But I'm saying when you are ready, leave. Be wise. Save up, cut expenses, and start looking for things that you are interested in. Start looking for places and avenues that you could actually be interested in that kind of career. And then guess what? Surround yourself and find those people who are actually doing the thing that you want so that you can open your network and start to see the opportunities that can actually come into your life because you found out where people are doing the things that you wanted to do, all while still keeping your old job. Start walking towards the place that you want to go while still keeping your old job so that you don't leave yourself or your family kind of high and dry in a really bad financial situation, and then make the transfer when you can. Now, let's say if you aren't interested in the position that you are right now, but maybe you're interested in a position that's higher than where you are right now in your workplace, or maybe a different position in your workplace. Now, I think the physical thing that I did to change my work ethic can actually help you with that. And at work and in life, I changed from being reactive to being proactive. So, what I mean by this is this: instead of only doing work because you're pretty much just reacting to the orders and tasks that your supervisors are giving you, be proactive. Obviously, do what they tell you to do and do it with excellence. I want you to keep your job, of course, because, man, like, we all need jobs, to be honest. So let's say you finish your job or your task pretty much earlier than you thought. What normal people would do is just pretty much chill until they get their next orders. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'll just let you know that you're literally not making yourself look any different than everyone else around you at that point. So if you're looking for a position that's higher, then, you're kind of like camouflaging yourself with the rest of the people who could be eligible for that. Instead of doing nothing, ask for something to do or do extra than what you were asked to do. When I was learning how to be an appointment setter, I tried to do extra than what I was supposed to do. So I was in this program that basically taught us how to be an appointment setter and then be able to provide us with interviews from business owners so that we could actually, get hired once we graduated. I showed up to all the coaching calls I could. I studied the modules really intensively, and I went on so many roleplay calls to practice this one skill. And by doing as much as I could have done, I was actually seen a little different by the people who were on staff of that program because they pretty much saw me all the freaking time being in the calls and everything like that, and they saw that I was actually bringing my excellence to the table. Now, I'm not flexing. This is not a flex at all. I'm literally just showing you the results that I've seen from being this proactive in what I was doing at the time. So then I graduated and then I got hired by a business owner at the beginning of this year. And I really made sure that I wanted to give it my all with him, even though I was honestly pretty tired from all the work that I've been doing previously. So I would attend every single daily meeting with the setting program while I was still working in order to develop my appointment setting skills. And I would honestly let my boss know that I was taking this extra time to devote to actually practicing this skill so I would, be better off for him. And also, my boss didn't really know what to expect from me since I was pretty much his first appointment setter. So he didn't really set an expectation for the amount of appointments to be set. And I was like, okay. But I decided to push myself every single day to try and get better and better and better. So I went from basically setting 2 appointments a day to then 3 to then 4. And then at this point, I was getting more than what he was able to do by himself. And I was actually be able to do 6 or 7 a day at that point. Then whenever I would have a call with him or a team meeting with him, I would always ask, is there anything else that he would like me to do? And now a lot of times there was honestly nothing else to do. That's perfectly fine. But sooner rather than later, there was actually something to do. And that something which was to help him create his content. And so that brought over the promotion. And so I basically just took the same proactive approach with this new position. So the initial plan was that we planned to get 3 pieces of content out each week. And so as soon as I got used to making 3 pieces of content, because that took a lot of work, then I pushed myself to make 4 a week, then make 5, so that we would have a backlog of content so that we didn't really have to worry so much about creating something last minute. I continued to ask him if I could do anything else, and then he wanted me to edit his videos and then post them for him. So I was able to do that. And after a few months of doing that for my boss, he wanted me to be more in charge of his operations in the whole business. And so that's where it led me to where I am right now. Now, that sounds like a lot of work, because it is. And I just want to remind you that average work doesn't really require a lot of work, but it also just gets pretty average results, which those results are pretty low. And above average work takes a lot of work. But it also gets you above average results, which are actually really, really high. So depending on the results that you want to get, you got to put in the work to actually match it. And I've told my story of going from appointment setter to head of operations to a good amount of people nowadays, and I always hear this from them.
Oh, wow, you're so lucky, dude.
And I would say, no, I don't think it's luck. Now, do I believe that God blessed me with this opportunity? Heck yes, I 100% believe that He did. I would also say, if I wasn't proactive and I didn't kill my apathy and I didn't recognize that I had to earn what I want in this world, and I would never really be in this position that I am in today. And see, there's this famous quote that I always quote a lot from a Roman philosopher named Seneca. And I can attest to it because it says this: luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And I prepared myself the best way I could have. And then God blessed me with an amazing boss who saw that preparation and then wanted me to be a part of his vision moving forward. And now I know that this isn't just for me. And this is for a lot of you out there as well. Not just for the people who are working for someone else, but also for the people who are making your own dream come true. You're making your own business or opportunities come up. And I want to say this: being average is the killer of achieving your dreams and acting out your purpose, because every single one of you listening and watching this has a purpose, and you are made for something so significant that is so much above average, so much above than what normal people and average people do. And it's going to take hard work, but I want you to know that you are made for something like this, and the only way you can get there is by doing the hard decisions and having that's work ethic that will really propel you forward in these work areas. And that's a part of my why approach. And as always, start growing, start now, and God bless you guys.